the chat. Um, all right, chat. So, uh, it's Sunday night. It's very late. I will not stay on for long. But while I'm on, we can do a Ask Me Anything format. Let's get into it for Sunday. The Ask Me Anything Sunday is back by popular demand of myself. um, if this doesn't pop off, then I will get off the live and guess do some push-ups and go to sleep. But um, yeah, guys, I would definitely enjoy that. You know, people asking me questions, and I wanted to recap from my live stream yesterday. That went for like almost 5 hours, and I spent like 40 minutes complaint to explaining to a guy my position on ethics. The problem was that this person didn't understand nuance. And that's the thing with philosophy. If you can't do nuance, philosophy is not going to be for you. If you don't understand the basic principles of logic, philosophy is not for you. It's safe to say that he was struggling on both ends of that. Um, he didn't understand that. mm, I thought that although I agreed that most ethicists today that morality is relative, that I thought that it wasn't completely relative, and I don't know why. And I guess that confused him. I was saying that some domains like morality are domain relative, which means they are relative within their domain. But there may be something outside of that domain which might be underlying it, which may be objective. And I was trying to get that across in so many ways. And I was saying that what kind of gives some sort of quasi objective feel to morality is that one, we all have universal moral instincts. He took that as just being emotions. I wasn't talking emotivism, which is an ethical theory that a lot of our moral judgments are basically expressions of our emotions about things. That is an ethical theory, and it's not a particularly good one, by the way. um, or which is just a variant on ethical subjectivism, which also he proffered. But what I was saying is that they're universal moral instincts because one, they're innate, um, by virtue of the fact that we're all born with them, and we notice through testing with young children across different cultures. Uh, then we know the universal because across different cultures, whether Western or Eastern, traditional or modern, there seems to be a set of universal cultural taboos to which we all have prohibitions against. Um, but I said, but, and he wasn't convinced of that. And I was like, and I tried to get across, although we may have universal moral instincts that are innate, likewise to learning language, we still have to be taught certain formal rules of syntax and grammar and semantics and all these sorts of things to have effective communication. Uh, Likewise, I guess with morality, you still have to be taught you know, how to morally reason. And that usually, for most people, that comes through the church. But if you're not a church going person, you may get this through school, through your profession, through being a part of some um, cultural group or social unit, whatever. In any case, we all get some sort of moral training or other, but we're able to capitalize on that moral training, whether it's religious or secular, because we all have innate universal moral instincts. I was trying to get that across, and he became very, I guess he became frustrated and decided to insult me. So, you know, after I felt taking 40 minutes out of my time to converse with him, that he decided to insult me, I got upset and I banned him. But then this clown decided to come back in my comment section and lay out the same argument under a different username that he spelled out during my live stream, as if I wouldn't be smart enough to realize that wasn't the same person, just with a different username. So I removed his comment because although I am quite happy to talk with people in my comment section, um, even when they disagree with me, as long as it's rational, I don't mind. But if I found that you were being an unreasonable person, then I'm not going to converse with you just because you use a different username. I'm not going to catch on to that. So that was from last night. So if you guys want to check that out, that has been uploaded. Um, funny, funny is that it seems like the longer the live stream, sometimes it will load up pretty quickly. Are you still collecting clips, Miss Nito? Cool. So is it working the format that I showed you where you can cut clips from videos? I didn't even know you were still up. Oh, you can't download them. But you're able to do it another way. Yeah, the cut clip is just to share them. Yeah, true. Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Like I said, I owe you big when I come out there. Um, King Topher, no matter how many times you ask me that, I've already answered it literally dozens of times. So this is just as retarded as people who come saying Drake or Kendrick. Like it's stupid. Anyway, Jaya George says the guy last night was a jerk, but he owned you up. No, he didn't. Again, if you followed the entire conversation, Jaya, and you would have saw that he was arguing in circles. He was literally arguing the same thing because he couldn't grasp what I was telling him. And I'm half a mind to think you're him under a different username. So yeah, I'm still up because I want to get stuff done. Okay. I actually I'm glad you actually hear Miss Nita because I might need you because at night, well, it's night here in America, so this is when all these weirdos, trolls, and incels come online. It is Ask Me Anything, but I've literally answered that over a dozen times. Over a dozen times. You can go to any of my previous live streams, and I've literally answered it dozens of times. I've did videos talking about my political positions, but you ask it in every one of my live streams. That's why I'm saying I'm not going to answer it now because you keep asking me that in every live stream. It comes off as trolling. It comes off as trolling. I'm pretty sure you're not American, or you will understand how socially awkward you're being. J.A.J. says you were saying you believe in objective reality and relativity. That's not what I was. Uh, oy, oy vey, dude. Yeah, you might have to time him out, Miss Nita, because I'm pretty sure this is probably the guy from yesterday. This you're the same dude. You keep coming under different fucking names. I'm not stupid. You're fucking retarded. I know this is you, perpetrator beta. You keep using dumbass names because you're a dumbass person who can't grasp simple philosophy concepts because you're not a smart person. Someone told you that you were smart and they lied to you. You came under a different name earlier today in my comment section thinking I wouldn't figure out that it was you, perpetrator beta, under a different username. Now you're under a different username now. King Toffer, again, you must not be American because you don't grasp things. Again, I've literally answered that question dozens of times. When I say dozens, I'm not exaggerating. I'm literally stating dozens of times. On top of that, I've done videos explaining why I've chosen the position politically that I've chosen. So that's kind of your problem. No one gives a shit, then you can get the fuck off my channel. You fucking desert hump. Get the fuck off my channel. Apex God, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a while. He said, "This dude saying the R word." Yeah, I'm saying it. If it refers to the person to which I'm insulting, yes, I'm saying the word. I'm Gen X. I don't give a fuck about using the R word. Like, fuck you. It's like clown. You could tell. You could. Oh, I can so tell when I'm talking to a Gen X. I mean, a Gen Z person. Soft ass motherfuckers. Oh, he said the R word. Get the fuck out of here, soft ass fucking generation. They need to do a World War III just to toughen you little bitch ass dudes up. He said, yeah, he said the R word last night. Yep. So yeah, I knew that was the same guy. And Miss Lee, you need to can you start blocking or timing out these people because he said you're stuttering a lot. I'm not stuttering. You're fucking dumb. That was a weird way to start a stream today. Yeah, because I wanted to go in because I knew that person was going to appear. Because I told you, remember I told you earlier today when I called you that he came in my comment section under a different username. Like I wouldn't catch on to this the same person, and that was the same person again today. The guy J.A.C. Because he keeps using stupid ass names because he's stupid. His original every name he uses is a troll type of name because he's probably been banned off of multiple he's probably been banned in multiple live streams because I know he's not just my live stream. Like perpetrator beta, that's like a pretty likely troll name that he tossed together. How long you time? You can time them out for a day. I usually time them out for a day. Like I think 24 hours to get their head right. I mean, it's up to you, but I use it depends on it depends on how annoying they are. But like if I realize they're just not going to stop, I just time them out for an entire day. And if I know it's a person who keeps coming back with a different username, I just ban every username because that I guarantee this guy's going to be back either in this live stream again under a different name, or he's going to come back tomorrow under one. I guarantee it. Oh, did you see what I sent you on IG? I was saying, well, you saw what I said. But yeah, the intro will help out so much because that was something that I've saw like a year or so ago. Like someone was saying that um, I think it was O'Shea Duke Jackson. I I don't agree with most of the stuff he says, but I watch his content because he stays on the pulse of like pop culture stuff, at least in the black community. And I think he did say like you need a good. He or someone else was saying you need a good intro to kind of grab people into your videos, and I think that is true. And I had an outro as well. Remember, I was telling you with Mrs. Contrarian, but I didn't want to use it at the time because at the time I hadn't really shown her face, so I wasn't going to use that outro until I actually started showing her in my videos. Now I can start showing her now that I've shown her in my videos, but before I got monetized, I was like I wasn't going to use her as a shortcut to get monetized because I could have easily have done so, but I'm not going to use my wife or anyone I would have been dating at period to kind of market my content. Now some guys do that. Um, Miss Needle, see, this is what I'm talking about. He said you need to have more visual content though. Really put in the work and edit it together. The effort will pay off. I know. So I want to put more cutaway scenes in between stuff. If you notice, I've been doing that a little bit more in my videos. Mrs. Contrarian has been helping me. Dude, you don't even know what you're talking about. See, I'm just banning him because that's what I'm talking about. Miss Needle, like idiots like that. Yeah, like I don't know why they think they have a voice on my platform. But see, the problem with philosophy is that people think that anyone can do it, and they really can't. Philosophy takes um, a focus on logic and clear thinking and nuance and patience, things that these folks don't have. Like the fact that I had to explain to something to someone for 40 minutes yesterday, and instead of them just saying, "Hey, you know what? I really don't get it, but that's cool. I don't think I agree, but let's just move on." He wants to insult me, so and then you realize they don't have anything better to do with their lives, that no one else wants to talk to them, so they keep coming back with different usernames to keep messing with the same person because they've probably been already permanently banned on other people's channels. That's the problem with mobile live stream is that you can't ban the person permanently with their um like if I did a like so if we did a live stream on the PC, Miss Needle, like when you're doing a live stream there, you can, if someone is trolling, you can ban them from their IP address, which means they can never return to your platform, to your channel under any different username. But mobile live stream doesn't allow you to do that. You can only hide the person from your channel under that username, which means they can keep making up different usernames to come back under the same IP address. So that's the difference. That's why there's some advantages to using the PC live stream, which is a better, it's more of a stronger format. It gives you more tools to use in your live stream than the mobile live streams do. But yeah, I like I said, I intentionally started off the chat by bringing this up because I knew it was going to attract that very clown again, and I wanted to make it clear to him why I didn't respond to his comments earlier in my comment section because I knew he couldn't help himself. A lot of these people don't have good impulse control. What's up, ESK? Miss Nia says, "Oh, I actually have a question. What made you start YouTube in the first place aside from that one guy?" Well, that was part. So that was part of the reason, Miss Nita, was my friend Marcus. He might be watching right now, by the way. Um, Like he had told me like at least 2 years prior. He was like, dude, you should like do YouTube or something. He said you be saying some funny stuff, and I was like, yeah, but I was like, I couldn't see anyone really watching my me do the, talk about stuff. I was like, he was like, no, it's funny. I was like, yeah, but I'm not intentionally trying to be funny. And he was like, yeah, I know. That's what makes it funny, though. So I was like, oh, okay. So it was that, and like, cause I had, I was starting to. I used to have a blog back in the day, and I was like, I could transfer from blogging to vlogging. So it wouldn't be that much difference. It'd basically just be me sharing my opinions through video instead of like through text. Um, Plus, it's like I post like I used to share so much crap on my Facebook. Do do you have Facebook, Miss Needle? Look, talk to me afterwards on Instagram. We'll go over that because I don't want you to share that on here. But anyway, um, I used to share so much on my Instagram and Facebook at the time. Not the Instagram you're connected to. On I had an earlier one, um, and I was like, all the stuff that I post and reshare and talk about on my Facebook and stuff, I was like, I should do it on like YouTube or TikTok or something to actually get paid for it. And I was talking with another friend who started a TikTok thing. He actually kind of blew up on it. He got monetized on there and he got monetized on Facebook. And he was like, no, he said, nah, man, you should do TikTok. I was like, I don't want to do that. I said, that's just for younger folks. And I was like, plus, I was like, I said, it seemed like it would be hard to get TikTok famous when it seems like everyone on there has like 10,000 viewers. It's like, nah, I'm gonna stick to YouTube. So I just, I just tested the waters. That's that's pretty much how I did YouTube. I was just like testing the waters to see how it goes. I had no idea that I would keep doing it for this long. BSK says often young beta types. Yeah, definitely. Like some of these dudes that come on here, you can tell they don't have a father. Like they just act very effeminate. Like this dude trolling me. Like if you don't agree with me, fine. But then why are you gonna keep coming back to insult me under different usernames because I didn't agree with something that you aren't even informed about? Like I'm the one who actually has the background in the thing that we're talking about, and you don't have to agree with me, but at the same time, you're not going to insult me for you not grasping something that I've studied for years. So that doesn't make sense. Miss Needle's avatar, that's actually her. That's a picture of her on that avatar. I didn't know that either because I remember like months and months ago. You remember Eric? They used to come on the he. I actually talked to him last week on the live stream, but he's been pretty busy. He was the first one to point out. He said, "Yo, Miss Needle got a pretty avatar," and I was like, "What?" And I never paid any attention because when we talked on here, I just assumed her avatar was just like a, some sort of drawing or picture or something. But when she left a comment, I actually, went to click on her channel and saw all her stuff. I was like, "Whoa, wait, she's a musician," and I was like, "Oh, that's actually a picture of her. She's actually pretty." So I was like, oh, "Okay, that's cool." But no, that's not her avatar. That's actually her in her profile picture. And if you haven't gone to her channel, you definitely should, BSK. Like she's uploaded a bunch of videos that she's edited herself that are like quality level music videos. I'm trying to get her to make more music. He said, "Oh no, what you mean?" No, it is a pretty profile picture. She's gonna be modest, of course. I got enough music just not released. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you told me like how much unreleased stuff you got. If you ever want to give me release something here as an exclusive, let me know. That'd be dope. But I would give you like, well, wait, how would that work? Because the rights would be to you. See, this I told you this clown was gonna come back for. He's now on his fourth username. I'm not admitting I'm wrong. I'm telling you, you're fucking stupid, and I don't care how many usernames you get. I'm gonna keep banning you. Told you the guy's a fucking incel. Like, who keeps coming back over and over? But oh yeah, what I was saying, I was like, I don't know how. Um, but if you shared like something here, I would have to make sure like whatever. If I get monetized for it, you should get the whatever. Yeah, that would be that would be complicated, wouldn't it? Like, like you were share like you if you shared like a song here, then I would have to make sure that you get like whatever like monetization that video got. I don't do anything for money. You don't do nothing strange for some change. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. I don't know if they even have that saying in Germany, but you know like American slang anyway. But man, I gotta get back to Germany. I miss it there. But come in like the summertime, I think. So yeah, that I won't do that either. No, of course not. I'm joking, of course. But um, I don't know. You might be like low key rich on a low, Miss Needle. I don't know. I'm kidding. But um, like let me find out like way in your ancestry you're related to some like German baron or something like that. Especially if there's a Von in your name somewhere. But no, it would be only be right. Like if you did upload like your own sort of stuff, I wanted to make sure that like it benefits you like somehow. What's a skill you would like to possess? Um, Programming. I would like to have like some programming skills. I've been actually looking into getting some certifications as well, and I don't know which ones to start. Like, because some of them have become obsolete now. Like basic, like I think some of them. I don't know which ones have become obsolete now. Like basic or COBOL and and like C plus and all that sort of stuff. I have no idea. Then I know for people. Then I know also to get into the IT world, a lot of people who don't have a background in programming can get into the IT world through doing cybersecurity. So that's an option as well that I've been thinking about. So that would be something a skill I would like to possess is some IT skills. Also, I would like to have some gymnastic skills. That would be something I would like to possess. Um, I would like to get certified in all the martial arts that I do. Because although I do possess those skills, I don't possess the skill set where I would be comfortable calling myself like a master or anything like that. I just think I'm an expert, but I can't say that I'm a like master or anything like that. So that would be another skill set I would be to like get my like high level instructor certifications and the arts that I practice. Um, I would like to get like, oh, maybe like piloting, um, become a pilot. That would be another skill I would like to possess. Um, yeah, I think those are the major. Oh, and I would like to like learn more, become fluent in like a few foreign languages. Pilot license is so expensive though. I don't think so. Um, eh, I don't know if it's expensive. I just think it's timely. But I don't. I'm not sure a pilot license is that expensive here. I think it just takes time. Well, I won't say that it's not expensive. I would say it's no more expensive than maybe some other sort of like long term pursuit. But I don't. I haven't heard of it being like that expensive. I think you just need to go somewhere where they teach it and you have the time to undergo it. I knew this cop who got his pilot license, um, but I don't know. He might have had money, so you could be right. It could be expensive because I've actually never looked into the cost of it because I didn't get that far into it. Also, although now I'm a civilian, I wouldn't mind like doing the special forces qualifications um, course because I think they do allow civilians to do it for a certain price. Like you can take the armed forces, well the Army Special Forces qualification course. I think you can. So that would be another thing I like to get under my belt since I never went special forces. And that's only and that qualification course is only the beginning part. Like you have to first you would have to pass the PT standards, then you would do the qualification course, then you have to do these other sorts of things to get into there. And then if you're talking about Army Special Forces, as opposed to Army Rangers, which is another branch of special operations in the Army Special Forces, they actually have to undergo a language test too, a foreign like a foreign language equivalency exam where they actually test you on like a made up language. But I would at least like to do the Army Special Forces qualification course. That would be cool. Is it just us in the chat? I guess the trolls couldn't. Mm-mm-mm. I didn't even realize the guy called me his son. Like that's just weird. Like I said, trolls. He's saying I'm being mean. Like they don't know how mean I could be if I wasn't monetized. If I was back in my pre-monetized days, I would be much, much, much worse. That's why I was surprised that I did get monetized from some of the stuff that I've said in these streams. But and and even then, I was watching what I said. But now, I have to be more careful. I can let a few swear words go, but as long as it's not a huge amount of them, I should be fine. But you can let one or two slip. But yeah, that sums it up, Miss Needle. So pilot, like becoming a pilot, taking the Special Forces qualification course and passing it, um, getting some program certifications, um, getting my instructor's level certifications in my martial arts that I practice. Um, oh, and learning tumbling. So I think I, I think that's it. Oh, and learning other some other languages. That's all. That's all of it. PSK says Miss Nito cargo pilot currently from zero. You could join the flying club, earn a solo. Yeah, I don't. BSK. Do you know like the cost of that? Like I said, I haven't heard that it's expensive. It's just not something that I've heard a lot of people say they were interested in doing. Oh, and the other one, Miss Nito, I forgot was also like um jumping out of planes, like I guess like being a jump master or whatever. Since I never went airborne when I was in the army, although I was offered to do so, I don't know why I didn't. And the only reason I didn't do it wasn't because I was scared. Rather, it was because I wanted to hurry up and get to my permanent duty station and come home for the summer. So um, I was like, no, I'm just gonna go right. I'm just gonna finish AIT, come home, and then go to my permanent duty station. Like I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I didn't want to go to jump school, and now I wish I did. Because one, you get paid more for hazard pay because you're more highly trained now as a paratrooper, and if you decide you want to parachute later on for fun, you can do it solo because you are qualified to do so. You don't have to have a jump master when you go out and go skydiving. So I wish I got paid to do it. This case as sport pilot is $4,000 to $6,000. Private is $9,000 to $13. I mean, excuse me, $9,000 to $13,000. Not through a club though. Those prices aren't those those prices aren't outrageous though. I mean, it is costly, but that sounds it sounds like a fair price to me. I don't know. That seems like a fair price. I mean, if that's accurate, that doesn't sound unreasonable to me. I just think a lot of people don't do it just because they don't really have the interest. Because otherwise, that's not that expensive. I know more people. I know people spend more on firearms than the than those costs right there. Like some people get handguns that cost like several $1,000s. Like, and then usually they have like at least several of them. That would be the cost of the piloting license right there. So, but right now my priority is on other things like moving to the other side of the globe. So that's why I've kind of set aside some of my extracurriculars that I would like to do because I want to just make that move to the other side of the world, and then I'll start considering doing all those other extra things that I want to do. Now, if somebody wanted to pay for me to get some of these certifications, like the Google certification, the C++ certification, which, like I said, I don't know if people still use that. Python, stuff like that. Although I heard the Python certification isn't easy. Um, all those other ones. Let's see, this is what are you looking forward to the most when you move to the Philippines? Oh, just being with Mrs. Contrarian. It's so much nicer there. Like, I'm stress free when I'm there. I'm not dealing with my family here in America. It's always pretty much nice outside, except for like during the rainy season when there's like a lot of, like typhoons and stuff. It's usually pretty nice outside. The people are super friendly. Um, I can have quality time with the missus. Um, it's like affordable food wherever I go. There's like these super malls, like I was telling you about in my video, about when I made the comparisons from the mall here where I live to the mall over there. So you have these nice super malls where you can get anything you want. Um, it's just a better lifestyle there altogether, being outside of America, and particularly there in the Philippines. When I'm sore, I can get like a $10 massage. So with all my like sports injuries and sprains, I can easily just get um a home service massage, and I even have my own home service massage business there, so I can I can use my own business to when I'm injured. So actually, I got to speak with Mrs. Contrarian about that, about us hiring some new therapists maybe, because we let it fall off after the pandemic, and I would really like to get it sparked up again. But yeah, I'm I, I've when I'm not with family, I'm more of my actual self, and that usually means being outside of Baltimore and outside of Maryland, and when I'm outside of the country, even better. So like I'm always like at the best of my game, the farthest I'm removed from both my family and from Baltimore. So when I'm away at college, I'm fully myself. When I was away in the army, I was fully myself. When I was overseas, I'm fully myself. But here, it's different. But yeah, what I'm most looking forward to there is both being with Mrs. Contrarian and being outside of the country, being away from my family. BSK says, can you get some elevation in the Philippines, like 900 meters and up? Yeah. So right outside of Metro Manila, there's Rizal, a, a province outside of Metro Manila, where um, there's there's a nice little incline. So it feels completely the temperature feels completely different in this part of Rizal, and what city is that? I forgot, but we were like in this higher elevation. So my wife got cold, and so I took off I think I had a hoodie. I think I had a sweatshirt or something, or a long sleeve shirt or something. I gave it to her, and I just wore like my little t-shirt underneath. I was fine, but she got cold. Also, if you go to Baguio is in the mountain regions of the Philippines, so it's a much cooler climate there. A lot of people like the Baguio province, but there's mountainous regions throughout the Philippines. This is also where you'll find some of the indigenous people there. The indigenous people of the Philippines are a black people called the Aita. They're they're a group of Negritos that you can find all over different remote areas of Southeast Asia, from parts of Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, um, Philippines, Indonesia. So, but they're called the Ita. They're in these mountainous regions. And then there's the tallest mountain in the Philippines. You guys can actually see it in my videos. It's called Mount Apo. My wife actually climbed to the summit of Mount Apo 2 years ago, and she took video footage of it with it. I think on her GoPro that I bought her, and she gave me the video to upload on my channel. So I have a picture of her reaching the summit of Mount Apo, the highest mountain in the Philippines. Um, but yeah, so you can definitely find some cooler regions in the Philippines if the parts um, if the lower if the lower elevation is too hot for you, you can live in Baguio, which is nice, or um, in other regions. Just saw the video very foggy up there. Yeah, because they were literally on the summit of the mountain where she was. So you can tell it was cold up there. But yeah, this mountainous regions of the Philippines. That just makes it good. So like if you want to stay somewhere where it's like more of a fall or spring type weather, Baguio might be a place to live. But then you can come down from there and go to somewhere like Zambales and go to the beach, or you can go to like Siargao, which is like a island in the Mindanao part of the Philippines, the southernmost region of the Philippines, where it's known for like tourists who come there to surf, or you can go like I said to Boracay, which is a nice resort um, area in the Philippines, or to like places in Cebu or Dumaguete. Ever been surfing? No, I haven't been surfing. I've never I've never had the courage to do that. I was scared to go like that far out in the water when I was younger. The only thing I've ever done was get on like a boogie board. That's about it. But I've never surfed. BSK said you ride over there too risky. Ride over where? Ride to the provinces or you're surfing is so much. Of course you would have. Yeah, I can see you doing. But wait, where you get to surf in Germany, Miss Needle? No, you're not surfing in the Baltic Sea. or I could be wrong. Are you surf? I could be wrong. You might. I don't know. Said, um, but yeah, where you saying you ride over to BSK? Scooter. Oh yeah, they have scooters in the. Yeah, there's a bunch of scooters and bikes um, weaving through traffic like they're insane all throughout Metro Manila, and yeah, they definitely have scooters and bikes. Miss Neil says you gotta travel to do that, like France or Spain or in the canal. Oh, also I forget you travel all over Europe, so yeah, you I guess you would have been surfing. And then there's those nice places in like southern France. Like what's that? Was it like the nice? What's that nice region of southern France? Is it Nice, France? Wherever, because I remember there was a semester overseas program that they did at this university in some part of southern France. I wish I took it up. Then there was another one in the UK. Then there was one with a semester abroad at sea, like on a yacht. I wish I did that. Province. Uh, I thought Province was Spain. No, I don't know, because there's the part where France and well, I know there's the Alps where where France and Italy connect, right? But I'm trying to get my geography right. So I don't know at the moment. But yeah, I just know southern France is southern France feels more like the Mediterranean than somewhere up north like Paris or Marseille. But yeah, southern France has a sort of a Mediterranean vibe to it. So I could see probably like surfing down there. I just don't remember that part of France, that southern region. But I know it has more of a Mediterranean vibe, like Italy and Spain. But yeah, I don't know if I'm cut to surf. I can't even skate without falling. Like I can't even roller skate without falling. So I'm pretty sure surfing wouldn't be my niche either. Like the last time I tried to skate was in college, and that was just embarrassing. I just kept falling down. There's like all these little, it was like all these cute girls. I just felt silly trying to skate, and I could barely like push off one leg to get around the rink. Like I was just moving like it was just apparently obvious I couldn't skate because I was just moving so slowly and kept slipping. BSK says, I've surfed large ship wakes with natives always. Wow. Where did you surf, BSK? I'm missing this. Says, gotta love the adrenaline pump when you get into the washing machine of the ocean. This is why I chose the army of the over the navy. I did not want to be on a ship where I'm subjected to the whims of the oceans. No, thank you. Keep me on the land. Although the Navy does actually have plenty of jobs that doesn't require you to be on vessels. And even the recruiter told me that, but I told her, I think I gave this story too, by the way, that I was almost going to enlist in the Navy my senior year of high school, and the part of the reason I decided not to was just because I just wasn't committed to the idea at the time. Plus, I had a I had a steady girlfriend, so I was like, no, I want to stay here with my girlfriend. Ironically, I kind of like broke up with her like not too soon afterwards. But it was this really cute naval recruiter. I think that was one of the reasons too. Like she was like, I think she was white. She might have been white or maybe mixed with something, but I think she was white. She had these freckles. She was cute. I'm not gonna even lie. I think that kept me interested in talking to her about possibly enlisting in the Navy because the Navy recruiter was so cute. Like I don't know, like a white or Asian girl with freckles is really cute for some reason. But but yeah, I almost signed up, and like I said, she was saying, "Well, we have jobs that you can take that doesn't require you being on the ship." I'm like, "Oh, okay," but kind of glad I didn't do it. It was just a strategy to get people into the Navy. Oh yeah, of course it is. They pick recruiters to appeal to people. That's very true. Like so, when I was in basic training in the army, we were doing our PT run, and the drill sergeant said, "Look over there, soldiers. You see that building?" He said, "That's the building where they taught you the recruiters how to lie to you to get you here." We just started laughing. But yeah, they are taught to be affable, and they pick people who obviously have a good look. that they can use to market the military. You're not gonna pick like a some some ogre looking type person to be a recruiter because they wouldn't appeal to people. But yeah, she was definitely very pretty. Or there was an old Simpsons episode where they had this Navy recruiter trying to trick the kids into becoming infatuated with the Navy by doing this music video. And he was like, something in Niage, Niage. And they realized it was just play. It was basically just join the Navy spelled backwards, like spoken backwards. It was join the Navy, but it sounded like a cool music video. And the guy who was supposed to be like this music promoter, uh, his name was like LT something. He found out that the LT something was really Lieutenant so and so. It was funny. Said near Duluth was best ever. Wetsuit, cold Mediterranean. Um, what's next? Best Greeks and Turks all mixed, beautiful. Mm. Near Duluth. Why did I, why am I thinking Duluth is in? I'm unless you're talking about the pilot thing. Cause I'm like Duluth. That sounds like I'm thinking Duluth is in like Colorado or something. My geography is completely off tonight, guys. But I'm sorry. But BSK says few folks actually become pilots. Yeah, one of people I've heard like John Travolta became a pilot in real life, just like he did on just like his character did on what was that movie with the talking baby, um, which kind of like brought his career back from obscurity was when he did the movie um, with the chick from Cheers, and she had the baby, whose voice was voiced by Bruce Willis, and it was three of those movies. The the third one was completely stupid. I think he had a sister who was voiced by Roseanne Barr in the third movie. But I can't remember the name of those movies. It said Lake Superior, Minnesota. Waves though? Yeah, I guess. I mean, the Great Lakes. Because I mean, we went to the beach on in Lake Michigan in Indiana. Like we would go to the beach there during the summer. But again, I never really went out to like the deep end. Like we just pretty much played on the beach most of the time, and they were called the Indiana Dunes. And it was weird because this is like the '80s. So when my parents said we were going to Indiana Dunes, it made me think of the movie Dune. So I'm expecting like a desert. It sounds stupid, but yeah, I was a kid, so when they said we're going to Indiana Dunes, I'm thinking like, damn, there's a desert in Indiana. So, but I realized it was just like a beach that was part of on Lake Michigan. BSK says John Denver died necessarily overconfident small plane. I don't trust small planes. This is why if I was a celebrity, I would never fly private jets. Like Taylor Swift loves her private jets. Apparently, they're very fast since she was able to get from her performance in Tokyo to the Super Bowl. And I remember telling people, I was like, she is no way she's going to get from her performance in Tokyo, which is the night before the Super Bowl happens. And I was completely wrong. She made it to the Super Bowl. The very, I was like, damn, I'm wrong. because her performance was literally the day before the Super Bowl. I was like, even though flying back, flying west, you gain an hour because when you fly east, you lose an hour. But when you fly west, you gain an hour. So I was like, even though she would gain time flying back to America, I was like, I just don't see her doing that. And they even had like articles in like the Washington Post and New York Times talking about will Taylor make it to see her boyfriend in the Super Bowl and all sort of stuff. And I'm like, she is not going to make it. And she did because those private jets can move pretty freaking fast. But I don't trust them. Like ever since every time I've heard of a private plane and a celebrity, I think of death. Like the first one was watching that old movie with Lou Diamond Phillips playing um, uh, the playing the Latino singer. What's his name? Sing the song La Bamba. Like he and Buddy Holly died on a private plane, like one of those little small private jets, and they were supposed to do a performance. And he was actually scared to fly a plane. And Buddy Holly was like, "Nah, man." He said, "This." He said, "It's cool." They crashed. Then there was JFK Jr., John F. Kennedy's son, back in the late '90s, who died again on a private jet. Then in 2002, Aaliyah died again on a private jet. At the time, I was like, man, I wouldn't fly anything. I wouldn't fly any plane uh, piloted by Jamaicans. I know that was wrong, but there was that. Then I remember watching a movie, The Wolverine, and they were in this private plane, and it was getting rocked pretty badly. And he was asking the other mutant on the plane. He said, "Is this where I die?" She was like, "No, not here." And he was like, "Okay," because that's how bad it was. It was getting the plane was getting rocked. Um, and then so I actually looked it up. I was like, "Are private jets actually more privy to crashing than commercial airliners?" And yeah, it is an actual like statistical fact that private jets crash more often than commercial jets because they don't have the same protection as a huge jumbo jet like that are used for commercial airlines. But yeah, I just don't I don't fly I don't trust private jets. Like if I was I don't care if I had I don't care if I had Michael Jackson level celebrity status. I wouldn't fly a private jet. I'm like, I'm getting on a commercial airline. You're just gonna have just I'm just gonna have to fly with an entourage of security with me. And there are actually a number of celebrities who do fly commercial jets. Um, with with average people, I'm sure they're on their first in the most executive type of uh, uh, seats available to them. But I would do the same thing. I trust commercial airlines way more than these private jets. It's more prestige with the private jets, and you can have all these sort of luxuries. But I don't care about that because you can find those sort of luxuries on the really expensive airlines too. Like I'm fine on Delta. I'm fine on Delta. Anyway, I know that was a big tangent. Uh, where's my other phone? Oh, it's right in front of me. But yeah, so the cop I met BSK, he actually has his pilot license. He told me he goes out and every once in a while. He's retired now, so I haven't seen him since he worked at the local police department near me. But um, I spoke with some of his buddies on the force who knew him, and they was like, "Oh yeah, so and so." They was like, "Yeah, he retired." They was like, "He go." They was like, "Oh, but he still goes out flying." I'm like, "Oh, cool." He was a he was a nice nice older guy. Ah, shoot, I forgot what I was gonna look up now. Shoot. But yeah, so for people who coming into the chat, yes, I am taking questions. The only reason I timed that one guy out, King Toffer, because he kept asking me a question that I've literally answered a dozen times, and I don't understand when I tell people ask me anything. There's always the proviso within reason. Like that doesn't mean ask me absurd questions or ask me something that you have already heard me answer. Like, what's the point in asking me something that you know I've already answered? That doesn't make sense. And it's not like he couldn't figure out that I've already answered it before, because I told him that in the previous live stream. But yeah, I'm like get ready to end this because I don't know who's still in the chat with me. I see two active people, not including myself, and I'm guessing that's I guess BSK and Miss Needle, I think, but she might be gone too because I know she has some stuff to do. Um, oh, it's still here. Great. Did you check your check the gram? But yeah, oh, did you get did you hear all my answers earlier when you were saying what skills did you did I want to possess? Oh, you said no, man. I'm editing videos. Oh, gotcha. Are they? Is it my stuff that you're editing, or some other stuff? Oh, okay. And once you do that, I gotta figure out how do I put them. I'm guessing do it is that they kind of just edit it. And thank you, Miss Needle. You weren't playing with any spiders earlier, where you? Most people, no one's gonna get that joke but us. Do you have other socials besides Instagram? Because so Moonlit Fern keeps telling me to sign up to Snapchat so I can chat with him there, but I don't really use Snapchat. I haven't used it in like, and even when I had it, I really never used it. I hadn't really used it in like 8 years. I think I tried to download it again 7 years ago, but that's when a lot of people were jumping off of Snapchat like about 7, 8 years ago, because that's when one of the uh, one of the girls from the what's that influencer family, the Kardashians, whichever one of them it was said that Snapchat was whack. Said she stopped using it. So a lot of people stopped using it just because she said she didn't like it anymore. She said, "Yeah, my friendly housemate he broke his leg. Unfortunately, I guess if you keep throwing him outside, I guess he would get his leg broken. Like, how you gonna say he's my friendly house spider and then you toss him outside? Is that how you do your men? You toss him outside because he wasn't doing his job with the other insects, and he probably ended up breaking his leg because you kept throwing him outside. You squish? How you squish him? What you do? And you said it was a big spider too, so I'd have definitely. I'm not even like I don't even have arachnophobia, but if I saw a huge ass spider like the big ones that have hair on them in my house, oh, it would have to go. Plus, any woman in the house, like whether you're talking about my mom, a sister, a grandmother, or cousin, they would probably freak out seeing one of those things, like half a hand big. That's that's the size of a tarantula. Like a small tarantula, because there's different, species of tarantula, but that's a that's the size of a tarantula. When you caught him, you squished him. Why'd you just leave him? Why'd you just if he was friendly, then why'd you just leave him alone? You don't toss friends outside. I said, nah, they are pretty big but far from a tarantula. That must be a German thing, like German spiders, because I haven't seen spiders like that. Like small spiders creep people out here, like a something like the size of a brown. What they call them, a brown recluse or whatever they call those things, or the black widow spiders, or the daddy long legs. When people see those, they freak out here, and those things are tiny. Is it because he was sitting on my window like in a bad spot? What? I think you just wanted to pick with it. He was. He's. How is he in the way in the window? How is that in the way? He's in the window. What were you doing in the window? He's plus outside the window is the territory of two other crossback spiders. Is that the name? Is that the name of the species? Crossback spiders. I'm about to look that up. But how is he in the? That just you just wanted to pick with him. Like if it's in the window, how is it in the way? That doesn't make sense. So I need to open the window without a spider falling. Oh, yeah. True that. Okay. So Google AI says there are several types of spiders with a cross-like pattern on their backs, including the garden cross spider, also known as the European garden spider, the diadem spider, and the crowned orb weaver. This spider has a bulbous abdomen with a distinctive cross of pale spots. It's a member of the orb weaver family and is commonly found in gardens from June to November. There's the St. Andrew's cross spider. This spider's brands, silk bands form the arms of an X-shaped cross, similar to the cross on which St. Andrews is said to have been crucified. That's weird. And the cross orb weaver spider, this spider is thought to have been introduced from Europe. So although they have venom, cross spiders are generally harmless to humans. Their venom is primarily used to paralyze insects, not to harm larger vertebrates. Okay. Miss Nita says, I don't know, probably not, but they have a cross on the back. But the house spider is a different kind and much bigger. The garden cross spiders are never coming inside. They just function as free mosquito screens. So apparently Europe has a bunch of creepy spiders. Uh, and some parts of the U.S. too, as well, just not in this region. Uh, she says, no, they're not venomous. I never got bitten by any spider. They respect me all right. Dude, you have much bigger ones in the US or Australia, like the huntsman is huge. Oh, that's what she said. But I know there are parts of the US where there's some creepy spiders, but not where I live, not in Maryland. Like that's you're gonna find those like in the South. Like all the a lot of creepy things are in the South. Like Texas has flying cockroaches. I said, but also friendly. People just get freaked out. That's all. Oh, I mean, again, people have have a natural fear of spiders because you know those sorts of things would have killed our ancestors, so we developed natural fears of them. But it's difference between having a it's a difference between having a healthy fear of something and having a phobia. A phobia is like a just outright irrational fear of something that is more extreme, way more extreme. But arachnophobia is probably one of the most typical phobias that people have, and it may have come from like actually the experience of having a spider bite or something like that. But yeah, most spiders, their mandibles are too. Even if they're venomous, their mandibles are too small to prick a human skin. So they're usually not really bothersome. And even when they do bite you, it usually might leave like a little whelp or something, but it's not going to be like a problem unless it's like one of those actual like bigger, really toxic spiders. You ever touched a bee? Well, I've been stung by a bee. If that's what you mean. I've been stung by a bee, but I haven't like petted one or anything like that. If that's what you mean, but no, I've been stung by one. She said, Miss Needle says like I find bees or spiders or caterpillars have very interesting texture. I don't like touching insects. I like I said the first time I really like so well I guess well worms aren't insects so that doesn't count. Those are I forgot what they're called echinoderms or something like that. But the first time I taught like touched a creepy crawly thing was worms. My father was teaching me how to fish when I was a little kid, and I didn't want to put the worms on a hook, so he usually would do it for me. But I think I tried at least once or twice, and then in the sixth grade when we had to do like a worm dissection as our part of our intro to going to junior high in the sixth grade, they made us do like some little worm uh, um, dissection. And even when I had an ant farm, I never played with the ants, like touched them or anything. So I think the first time I played with a bug was like probably like I told you earlier, and when we were talking earlier, like for my my biopsychology lab. Is the answer too tiny? Depends. Some of them can get big, and those are the scary ones. Um, I forgot what I was about to look up again. Darn it! It's late. But I miss having an ant farm. That was fun. I might get that when I have a kid. Use my kid as an excuse to buy like the stuff I wanted as a kid. I mean, why not? I already buy like vintage toys for myself. Auditing Mapton says, "What do you think about First Amendment auditors?" I don't know what that means. First Amendment auditors. I don't know what that means. Is that like a euphemism for saying people who try to block First Amendment speech, like people who try to block free speech, or I'm not sure what that means. Cop watchers, huh? I would like to. No, I mean I'm not trying to be funny. I would like to answer your question. I just don't get it. Cop watchers. I don't get it. Unless, like I said, unless you saying it in a particular way to get around the YouTube algorithm, I'm not catching that. I'm sorry. Miss Neal said you wanted to look up what spider you're going to get as your next pet. No, I wasn't. That's not what I was going to look up. He tried to get me. She says, I think I know what he means. Holding them accountable. Yeah, I got it. Hold cop watches. Wait, but I don't get how that fits into First Amendment. You're saying people who are watching the cops to hold them accountable, but then you're talking about First Amendment auditors. So I'm that's why I don't get. First Amendment refers to the freedoms of speech, press, and religion. Um, I'm not sure how that factors into holding cops accountable. I'm sorry that I'm not catching it. It would be the press. Hmm. Filming the police. Well, I mean, the police now carry their own chest cameras, um, almost like when they go out, and they'll tell you, like, when they start talking to you, just to let you know, for security purposes, I'm turning my camera on. Um, but and if anything, I think the cameras help both the cops and the people they're talking to, because just in case the person they're talking to is out of pocket and does something to the police, now they're protected in case they have to defend themselves and they say, "Hey, this wasn't police brutality. This person attacked me." Like, what's been happening with some of these illegal migrants attacking police here, um, and getting away with it in New York City. But anyway, um, they don't alter the cameras. What happens is sometimes they may turn it off, if that's what you mean by alter. But I don't know. I think the question was just poorly phrased. Like, if you can ask it more like directly, that would help, because I don't get saying free speech auditors, like, but then you're talking about the police, and then I don't get it. Like, they redact a lot. Well, they don't redact the camera footage. They so if something is part of an open investigation, then of course it can't be released to the press because it's part of an open investigation. That just makes sense. Um, but once an investigation is over, unless it's dealing with like something private or national security or something like that, or something of that sort, then it shouldn't be redacted. Redacted is what they do to like documents. Certain information might be redacted from a document for security purposes or alleged security purposes, I should say, because some things get redacted for like basically just because they don't want embarrassing details out there, but they might say that's for security purposes. But yeah, um, Miss Needle says you can literally fake anything with the technology and twist narratives. Yeah, you can, but Miss Needle, a lot of these people who work on the police force aren't that well versed in IT. Like, I think people were fooled from watching decades of CSI, CSI Miami, CSI New York, CSI LA, and all these other CSI spinoff. The cops don't do that intricate technical work like on CSI. Like, if, if any, also, I mean, it came to be known because of that in psychology and in criminology, something called the CSI effect, which was it was actually hurting court cases that juries were expecting more scientific evidence on in court trials because they've been used to seeing that sort of stuff in these CSI TV shows on in American TV, just to realize in real life that cops don't really do high tech stuff like that. So, um, but anyway, so auditioning in Mapton says the blur, they mute, they cut out footage, or they don't turn on the camera. Again, but that has nothing to do with First Amendment. I don't. That's not First Amendment though. That's I get what you're saying now, but that really doesn't talk. That I don't see it. That doesn't really deal with First Amendment issues. First Amendment issues is dealing with stifling people's rights to free speech or the right to um, the freedom of the press, the right to freedom of religion. Those those are First Amendment rights issues. Um, police um, withholding information from the public, it's not a First Amendment issue unless you're talking about when you when, unless you're talking about when they file those FOIA, like if someone files a FOIA, I think that's what's called like a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act. If someone files a FOIA request for something, then I guess you're getting into First Amendment issues. I think that's what you might be talking about. Now that I've considered it a little bit more, it's late here. You gotta give me a little grace. It's 1 a.m. in the morning here, and I'm about to get off. Um, but yes, sometimes they might cut off the camera, or some footage might get lost. Absolutely, but I think that happened. That we shouldn't judge the we shouldn't judge what happens. Um, how do I want to put it? We shouldn't assume that the exceptions are the rule. When stuff like that is done, those are the exceptions that prove the rule. For the most part, in most day-to-day interaction, cops aren't cutting off their cameras and doing. This happens in particular incidences where either it has been edited by people higher up in the department, or that individual officer decided to cut off their camera because they know they were doing something wrong. But on the day to day of most cops across the country, they're not doing that. It would be unfair to judge every single officer on the force across the country based on what some people are doing when they're in the wrong. So that's how I see it, and I don't think this is a First Amendment issue until you get into like people being denied FOIA requests or whatever. So I think, but maybe you might be thinking of something else beyond that. Ms. Neil says I was talking about bystanding people that film stuff and they go edit it, etc., and provide a different, more quote unquote true perspective of a thing that happened. Okay. BSK says FOIA federal deal. Yeah. Like I said, unless he's referring to like FOIA type issues, then I don't see how that impinges on First Amendment rights. Like if like once you're talking about FOIA, then yeah, that is First Amendment issues because you're talking about the Freedom of Information Act, which is can be requested by people either through the press or for other means. Um, like but I guess that might be what he's getting at, but the question was just like badly phrased when he, so I didn't get what he was trying to ask me. But yes, cops will redact information in documents. Well, not just cops, but like people in law enforcement might redact information in documents. Um, for like when they file their reports, or some people might turn off their cams. Um, that stuff does happen, but when you're talking about, again, the day-to-day interactions of police across the country, most officers are doing the right thing. It's like if there's like a mil like I'm just making up a number here. I don't know the actual number of people in law enforcement across the country, although I can look it up. But let's just say there's a million law enforcement officials across the country, and every day they are doing their day-to-day operations, whether they're patrolmen, whether they're um, detectives, um, whether they're state troopers, whether they're federal agents. Most people are doing their due diligence with their job. Um, but there are those bad apples who are cutting corners or doing something wrong, and so they make sure that they do stuff to get away with it. But I don't think most of law, I don't, I don't think that most law enforcement is in a Serpico's type of situation on a day to day. Like it happens, but I don't. But I just don't see in every police, in every law enforcement branch throughout the country that everyone's dealing with this like Serpico sort of environment. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about Serpico, it's a classic Al Pacino movie. People should go see it. It's really good. You see, I'm so misinformed. Perhaps I am. I could be quite misinformed. What I do know is that I don't have an axe to grind. So again, I don't believe that most law enforcement officials are every day doing something corrupt. Like that just you would be talking about literally thousands of interactions every day. Like literally thousands of interactions every day that supposedly they're suppressing people's rights, uh, corrupting documents, withholding evidence. Yeah, all these things happen, but like I said, there's thousands of interactions every day by these folks. Do you know the origin? I'm not getting. Yes, I know the origin of policing. I know. I mean, depending on how far back you want to go to, like if you want to go back to to the British crown with the constables and stuff like that, or you want to get into like the early period of the U.S. where there was a slave patrol. Yes, I'm aware of all that stuff. That has nothing to do with 2024. Uh, People you need to. I mean, that's like judging a tomato based on the plant it originally evolved from. Like the tomatoes we eat are nothing like the origins of the tomatoes that Native Americans cultivated thousands of years ago, or corn, which started off like as grass, basically. Like things change. Like the if if you got to axe to grind against police, I get it, but to consider all law enforcement to be just a hand me down from the era of slave patrols back in the 1700s, that's not really a that's I find it a pretty disanalogous. Yes, there are bad people in the force. Guess what? There's bad people in every industry, in every there's bad people in the military, there's bad people in the government, there's bad people in business, there's bad people in entertainment. There's you know why? Because there are bad people. The Blue Line Gang exists. Well, okay. Meanwhile, there's gangs all over the country too that tear. At the end of the day, Chris Rock is right. When I go out, if I go to the ATM 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm not worried about the press. I'm not worried about cops. I'm worried about ninjas. I'm worried about the ninjas. Cops aren't gonna. It's not the cops I gotta worry about robbing or shooting me 1 o'clock in the morning when I go to the ATM. It's ninjas that I'm worried about 1 o'clock in the morning going to the ATM. It's ninjas that make me have to get a, a, a concealed carry weapon. Not the press, not police, ninjas. As a black guy, I'm more likely to be unalived by another black person, not by police. So you said I was in law enforcement. I mean, you probably are, but I'm saying if you're in law enforcement yourself, then you know most day-to-day operations aren't just cops just screwing people over. You know that. I mean, we you couldn't even have a you couldn't have a functioning department wherever you were if everything was um just bad all the time. Yeah, and some of course some departments are worse than others, of course. But if everything was bad all the time, then those 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 local police departments would be taken over by the feds. Like the local police department would probably be handed to the sheriff, the sheriff's department. He said, I can tell you firsthand, it's not the people, it's the position. The system is corrupt. Well, all right. So, given that, yes, positions of power do corrupt people, absolutely. But we gotta look at the causal arrow. Is it the positions that corrupt people, or is it that the type of people who seek those sort of positions are the corruptible type in the first place? So we gotta know which way the causal arrow moves, because we don't know if it's the position itself that corrupts people, or just that the sort of positions attract corruptible people, right? So I think that's fair. The system is corrupt. Well, I would say that the system is I would definitely agree that the system is messed up. I think the justice system needs some serious improvement. But like I said, I'm not gonna hold individual officers accountable for the entire system itself being messed up. Like that's just like blaming all Americans for our government being messed up. I can't hold every American citizen accountable for the problems of our government, just like I can't hold every law enforcement officer accountable for the system that is messed up. If that makes sense. Again, it's late, so I may not be at my most convincing this time of night. But I get what you're saying. What I was saying is I didn't when you first posed the question, I didn't immediately see how that like dealt with First Amendment issues, right? So that's what I was trying to get across. But I do agree with you that there are some First Amendment issues, like I talk like I said, when you're withholding evidence, when it comes to like the Freedom of Information Act request, or when things are being withheld from the press. Now, if something's being withheld from the press because something is part of an open investigation, then I agree with that. Like certain things shouldn't be privy to the press when there's still an ongoing investigation. And yes, I know that a lot of stuff never makes it to the light of day. That I'm in the military, so I'm used to that. I know in the military there's a lot of things there's a lot of things that happen in the military that will never make it to the light of day. So I'm pretty sure that that happens also in law enforcement. It also happens in big business. Like um, that's why they make you sign um, what was it, like confidentiality agreements and stuff like that, so that certain things can't be brought brought to light when you're working for a place if you choose to leave, or that you can't use that information that you gain at one place of employment to use in another place of employment that was just similar. Like if you work at KFC and they give you the secret to the 11 herbs and spices, you can't. I'm just trying to keep this lighthearted auditing. I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but just trying to keep this not too serious. But yeah, like if you know, like the confidentiality agreements, like and I'm not even joking. Like there were or still are fast food places that actually make their low wage employees sign these confidentiality agreements. So like I said, even though I'm joking, it's almost serious that like if you work at KFC and you learn the secret to the 11 herbs and spices, you can't go over to Popeyes and give them the 11 herbs and spices secret so they can put in their chicken, because they can sue the brakes off of you for that, and they can also pretty much blacklist you from the entire fast food industry if you break that confidentiality agreement. Um, but getting back to the point, I see how there can be freedom. I mean, sorry, First Amendment issues dealing with law enforcement. But again, if you were former law enforcement, you know probably a little bit more than I do when it comes to the grift or corruption in the system than I do. I can only look at it from an outsider's point of view. So you probably have a much in-depth look at it. So for instance, when we were in college together, uh, he joined the police force in Baltimore City right after college, and then went on to law school while he was a cop. And he told me, talking to some of the people in the force, that anyone, he said, talking to some of the people in the force, that he wouldn't have trusted anyone that was hired before the 90s or something like that. Like he wouldn't have trusted anyone that was hired on the police force that was hired before the 90s or something like that, or maybe 80s. But because he was saying it was literally that bad that everyone was pretty much on the take, or like just corrupt. So I guess it was. So I guess the Serpico situation was kind of common up in the older amongst the older people in the police force. So I don't know what your age is auditing, and you definitely don't have to reveal that to me, of course, on here. But if you were a police officer, maybe longer ago than now, I can. Sorry, my thing just reconnected my connection. Sorry, but yeah, if you were an officer on the force from like many moons ago, then I'm pretty sure it's probably worse then than it is now. And I'm not saying things are good now, but I think they're a little bit better than like the 70s and 80s when it was more of a Serpico sort of situation on a lot of these municipal police departments, if that makes sense. But thank you. That was actually a good topic because that's not something I've talked about on here before. I don't know who's. I only see one person active, so I don't know if that's Miss Needle or if that's you auditing. But if you're still here auditing, man, I appreciate the. I do appreciate the question though. I'm sorry I didn't answer it in a more meaningful manner, but I just the way you phrased it, I didn't understand what you were saying at first. And I guess because you have more, like you're more entrenched in that issue, you probably didn't think to put it in a way that probably would make sense to like a lay person like myself. But okay, I don't see anyone. So unless Miss Needle or someone else is here, I am going to go. Because she's probably still editing videos, and I think auditing probably left. I don't know if hopefully he wasn't upset with my answer. I think I probably would have gave better answers earlier on during the day when I could. I'm probably more uh, probably more alert. So that's it, guys. Unless anyone's still in the chat, like I said, I see zero people in the chat. So if my counter is wrong, and there's someone still here, can you please say hi? I'm still here. If not, I am gonna go. Wake me up before you go. Yeah. So it looks like no one's here. Um, I don't know if it booted people out when it reconnected or everyone just had to go do their own thing. But anyway, I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I had my returning troll from yesterday. Apparently, he has the need to, I don't know, to prove something to himself because he wasn't proving anything to me. And it's rather pathetic that once someone gets banned from a live stream, they keep coming back under different usernames to just taunt the content creator because they don't like the answers they received in that live stream. Uh, but he challenged me on something of which I knew more about than he and disagreed with the answers that I gave him yesterday. But in any case, c'est la vie. So, with why people, I'll talk to you guys later. And if anyone again has any questions, I'll give it a few seconds before I go, and then after that, you can leave it in my comment section if you have any other thoughts or opinions or criticisms or questions or queries. Oh, two people just reappeared. Is that Miss Needle that's in the chat? Did you come back? And also, guys, I was playing some more ambient music again. It's called Be Calm. Excuse me, Be Still, Calm Your Mind. Warrior Meditation, Deep Cinematic Ambient Strings for Flow State. Oh, what's up, Jake's wife? What's going on? Rob Robler says, how do you feel about Camilla's blackface voice? um, Kamala's blackface voice, I think you're saying. Um, Someone asked me about that before, and I think it's I don't know. People are saying she's code switching. I don't think she's code switching. I think she's just being inauthentic. Code switching is an actual thing within the black community. Like, I mean, I don't have to really explain that. I'm sure most people realize. But so, you know, most educated black people will speak like standard American English, or SAE for short. We call it in linguistics, and some form of black vernacular English. And amongst each other, they might speak more black vernacular, but when in a more formal setting, whether in like an academic setting or professional setting, they'll switch to a more standard American English syntax. That's code switching. People said she was reverse code switching. I'm not sure because for one, I just don't know how since she moved around a lot and her folks are from the islands. I don't really know how she grew up actually talking. But I know the 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 inflection she gave in that at that speech sounded pretty inauthentic. But she's not the only one who did it. I remember Hillary did it too. Hillary Clinton started talking in a some sort of fake black vernacular English when she was in a rally amongst black people, and even saying even brought out some hot sauce in her purse and she carries it with her everywhere. Like like what, bitch? Like she like have you never been around black people? Why are you saying dumb shit like I carry hot sauce in my purse with me everywhere? First, even if that's true, why do you think that's going to connect you with black people? Like you think all black people carry hot sauce in their purse or whatever? Like I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna keep some of this Tabasco hot sauce just in case I go to this pit beef stop over here on the side of the highway. Get me some pit roast beef. Like, huh? Like I don't know. I mean, that's what she. I mean, if she went to Chinatown or whatever, is she gonna say, well, "I keep sriracha in my purse too"? Like that, it doesn't make sense. She said, "I know it's people that do that on YouTube." Yeah. Like this is my natural way I talk. It's funny that when I worked in a call center, I was accused of putting on my white voice. Um, and I'm like, no, this is the way I naturally talk. If anything, I was telling them, if anything, I reverse code switch. Like when I'm around black people, I will have to remind myself to st- to start to stop talking too formally, because to them I'm trying to, it sounds like I'm being like pretentious or sounding white. And it's sad that even as an adult you still will hear that sometimes, like, why are you sounding white or what? Like, we're adults, like we're supposed to be articulate at this point in our lives. So um I, like I said, I don't know what Kamala was doing at that rally, but she came off very inauthentic, definitely. Ray says, "Yeah, but why change it up? She has literally never spoke like that before. She was chosen before she was even chosen by Obama." Dude, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like all I know is since 2019, when she first came into prominence on the national scene, she has always she has always come off as disingenuous. So this is just another example of her being a disingenuous person. Like, uh, politicians generally will sometimes try to be the everyman. So they'll be one way to one crowd and another way to another crowd. That happens commonly in politics generally. But Kamala has a history of just being a disingenuous person. Like she has switched her positions on things just in 2020 alone when she was running for office. And now that she's running for office now unopposed, except for, Trump, like she's changed her positions again. I so like I said, I can't. Although I'm not. I haven't heard her like switch up how she talked before either. I just know that she's generally a pretty inauthentic politician, which I guess is pretty par for the course, depending on when your view of politicians. But it doesn't surprise me. Like I said, she's taking a playbook out of the Clintons, because like I said, Hillary did the same thing. At least Bill, like it's not too many great things I can say about Bill Clinton, but at least one thing, he was always himself around whoever. He hung around black people, he was just Bill. He hung around white people, he was pretty much just Bill. Like he just he was more likable than his wife, and still is. And Kamala isn't likable either. Jace White says, "I'm always like, why not be you? Why do you have to be? Why do you have to sound like everyone else in the chat?" But see, I've never seen people. So, are you talking about content creators, Jake's wife? Like, are you talking about the content creators like change how they act, or are you talking about the 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 people in the chat room? Jordan Cornell says, "Yup." um, yeah, I haven't. Oh, both. That's weird. So I'm. I know you haven't been on my content that long, Jake's wife, since we met on Moonlit Ferns live stream. But if you watch any of my older stuff and you see me now, from the 2 years ago when I first started this channel, I've pretty much been, I think, pretty consistent. I've always been the same. Like I don't change. I haven't changed the way I talk around people. I haven't really changed my views too much. Well, some of my views have changed, on at least politically, but I mean, I haven't tried to, like, I haven't put on some sort of persona and then change that persona over time to like get more likes and clicks and views, stuff like that. I've always been, I think that's probably what attracted a lot of people to my stream, was that I was just like a regular dude, I think. But guys, shout out to Jake's wife. She has a channel as well if you guys want to check her out. Um, I've seen a little bit of it so far. Like us, I think you were live streaming at one point, and I think that was when I was on my way out, so I didn't get to um to join your live stream. But yeah, I'm pretty much like a regular dude on here, so I haven't changed up. I mean, if you give me a lot, if you give me enough money, I will. So yeah, I make stuff. Cool. But yeah, I haven't been offered any brand deals yet. Um, I guess if you offer me a brand deal, you might see me tap dancing for the man. I'm joking, but no, like in all seriousness, I would love to find some brand deal, maybe with like Blue Chew, or I don't know. I think women get better brand deals than the guys, depending on the content. But especially, I think guys who deal in red pill content are gonna find much less things they can do with brand deals than maybe women can. Uh, I don't know. But no, I already told my wife. Jake's wife. I was like, I hope I get a brand deal with Blue Chew. I was like, we gotta do a commercial. And she was like, I don't know. I was like, come on, it's gonna be funny. But yeah, I'll do like a brand deal with Blue Chew or Nugenics, or what's one of those hair, those things with the keeping your hair and all that sort of stuff, or maybe a nutritional supplement because that would fit into like my some of my martial arts stuff I do. Yeah, any of that, I would love it to do something like that. I guess I gotta keep my content advertiser friendly. Rogaine. It no, it's a new one. I think it has it might use the same stuff as Rogaine, but it's this one like they promise like it's this one company so they have stuff for like protecting your hair, um, for lasting longer, you know, physically, or and I think like for removing like um, aging from your face. I forgot the name of the company, but they do all of that stuff. I wouldn't mind a brand deal with them or one of those little skincare regimens. Because I would actually, because I think sometimes they actually send you the products so you can use for the so that you can do like a paid promotion. So I would love to get like some free products so I can actually use it for their paid promotions that I add to my videos just so I can have some free skincare products. That would be dope. He said, "Oh yeah, I think I've seen that, but I can't remember what it's called." Yeah, I can't remember either. It's like I've seen that video like numerous times, but I can't remember what it is. But yeah, hopefully I get brand deals because when you get monetized, actually so YouTube actually, so they act, so I'm giving like an insider snippet to the YouTube partner program. I hope it's not against the rules to say so. But yeah, like so they actually will shop you out to different companies that you can possibly have a brand deal with, and they actually take data like um they actually like take stuff from your analytics from your channel to give like a good presentation of what you can offer them on your channel and shop it around to these different places in which you get a brand deal. I'm guessing YouTube does that because they probably get a cut of it themselves, which I'm not mad at that at all. We can all share a piece of the pie. But yeah, so they actually so when you're monetized and you're eligible for the for ad revenue, like if you click on getting brand deals, they they actually take your data from your channel and they shop it around to different companies to try to get you a brand deal, which is pretty dope. He said, I don't even know how to get monetized. Just so the first step is just having um, enough subscribers. Like once you get to 500 subscribers, that's your first level of monetization. But once you hit like 1,000 subs and you have enough public watchable hours, you can find it. So if you haven't download the app YouTube Studios, and it tells you when you go to the when you go into the YouTube Studios app how you can get monetized, like the steps that you need to take, and because it'll be a an icon called Earn, and when you go on Earn, it's gonna tell you all the steps you need to do. Like first step is like getting 500 followers, 500 subscribers, and about I forgot how many not thinking about 1,000 public watchable hours, which means people are watching your content. And then the next step is getting 1,000 subs and getting, I think, 3,000 public watchable hours. No, 4,000. I'm sorry. I think 4,000 public watchable hours, something like that. And then you also have to click on, you have to sign up for the Google AdSense and have them verify your like your personal identification, your address, um, I think your number where you can be reached, and 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 then you have to sign all the agreements, all the financial agreements, and that's how you get monetized and you become part of the YouTube partner program. You sign it once you sign that agreement, and once you do that, you get your Google AdSense account started. You'll get ad revenue on your videos and stuff like that, and you can also get revenue through having your own merchandise, and they actually connect you with the different uh, online stores that will actually create merch for your channel for you, like Shopify. I think is the biggest one, but there's some other ones. And then again, there's the brand deals that they will actually take the data from your channel, like from the content you create, the how many people you have following you, how many people, how much um, hours people are watching your content, all that sort of stuff. They bundle that information and send it out to these different companies to get you brand deals. Also, you can, once you reach that 1,000 subs and 4,000 public watchable hours, you can have memberships to your channel. You get paid through that, um, and you can get the super chats. Like, so if someone wants to sign up on here, if they want to ask me a question through the super chat, they donate money, and it's going to plaster their comment on the screen for everyone to see it, and the amount that they donated to me through the super chat donation. They can also do it through a super sticker, which will be posted on in the stream in the chat room as well for everyone to see, and the amount of money they sent me for the super sticker. Or once you're no long once if you're talking about pre-recorded videos or YouTube shorts, people can send you a super thanks, which means they can just donate money to you through that video that you've uploaded. Um, but during live streams, they can do it through super chats and super stickers. So all of those are ways you get monetized through the YouTube Partner Program. Um, you can do paid promotions with companies as well outside of the brand deals. Like you might know people or know of a company that's willing to um, fund fund your content in 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 exchange that you promote their whatever sort of goods or service they offer, but you just have to click on your YouTube video before you upload it that this is a paid promotion on your video. So there's a lot of ways to get paid through your channel. Also, you can just drop people your Cash App. You just say, hey, here's my Cash App, because that's what I was doing before I was monetized. I was telling people, hey guys, here's my Cash App. You can donate to me through directly through my Cash App if you like the content I'm creating, or you can go to my account at buymeacoffee.com, and they can donate money to you through buymeacoffee.com. And it doesn't have to be coffee. You can switch it to beer or pizza. But I use coffee because I literally drink coffee every day. So I switched it to coffee for buymeacoffee.com. But it can be buy me a pizza or buy me a beer. Um, it won't be a long while for you, Jake's wife. Literally, like literally, the secret to the algorithm is just producing content every day. That's really the secret of, you gotta feed the algorithm. if you're producing like some sort of content every day, then that'll get people, that'll keep you in the mix where you'll get people coming to your channel and subscribing. What I did for like almost a year, I I stopped making like long form videos, and I fed the algorithm just by using YouTube Shorts. Like I just kept creating YouTube Shorts over like every day, and that fed the algorithm to get me noticed and get subscribers and people watching the channel. So if I don't know how many subs you currently have, but um, probably right now you want to concentrate on like pre. Well, if you can do live streams now, then you should have a certain amount of, you should have a good amount of subs right now. But like I said, you can feed the algorithm with like doing YouTube shorts. Like you could, like one way you could do YouTube shorts is you can go uh, after you've uploaded your live streams or your other videos, you can cut clips from that stream or from your other videos, and then you could then upload them as YouTube shorts. Those clips that you've cut from your live stream videos. You say I have 85 subs. I was there. I get it. Look, if you watch my old videos from a year ago, I had a long running joke for like a year and a half where I kept saying, guys, I only have one subscriber anyway. Because every time I would say something like, funny or like, a little spicy, I'm like, oh, well, I only got one subscriber anyway, guys. Because I only had like, I remember those days when I just had like 5, 10, 20 subscribers. Like I remember when I was happy one day when it went up to like 15, 20 subscribers. I was like, wow, I got like 15, 20 subscribers now. Like I did not see myself getting to where I am now with like 1,600 subs, and that's still nothing compared to people out there who have like millions of subs. I know. I think YouTube sends you a plaque when you hit. Uh, I think they send you something when you hit 10,000 subs. And then they send you another one when you hit 100,000 subs, and then they send you another like um, platinum certification when you hit 1,000,000 subs. But yeah, that's so now that I'm monetized, that's my next that's my next goal is actually hitting like 10,000 subs. But look, it's taken me 2 years, Jake's wife, to get here, so it took a while, and I think the only reason it took so long is because I wasn't doing this full time. I'm still not doing it full time. I just do it part time. But if I was like a full time YouTuber, I probably would have been monetized over a year ago. She said that's awesome for you though that you're here. Yeah, I mean it is awesome. Like I was happy. My wife was happy. I was like, hey baby, I got monetized. She's like, that's awesome. I was like, I know, right? I was like, I was like, I told her, I was like, man, I should consider doing this like as an actual like full time YouTube job, like some people do. If I did that though, I have to buy like a bunch of like like digital editing software. Um, Probably set up like a good mic and camera and all that sort of stuff. And at some point, I would probably need to hire. Well, I mean, I could probably do the editing myself, but I probably might want to hire someone to do my social media management. But at this low level, I could probably do all that stuff myself. If I was going to do this full time, I would definitely start learning more about the social media management aspects of it, where I could make this content and curate it so I could put it on like Facebook and Instagram as well. I really don't use TikTok. but do that. Um, then have learn get some better editing skills because one of the things I've been told is that I could make my content more interesting by adding like little cutaway scenes into it. So that would be a good idea. But yeah, if I can do it, I know you can do it because I'm telling you honestly, I did not see myself getting to the point where I was monetized. I used to joke with my friend that I did videos with on here. I was like, I'm never getting monetized. I said, there's no way. I was like, some of the stuff that I say, there's no way I'm getting monetized. I just don't see it. But it happened. I'm surprised. So I know if I can do it, you can, because I'm pretty sure you probably have way more interesting stuff to say than I do. Uh, she says, I heard you can make $16 an hour on the Kick app. So I've never really used Kick. The one, you talking about KIK Kick. That see, I heard of that app like 10 years ago, and I downloaded it, and I just never saw use for it. It seemed like it was just for young people at the time. Like maybe it's changed, but the last time I've tried that app was literally like 10 years ago. The Kick app. I don't know what sort of format it was. I think back then when I first saw it, it seemed similar to like Instagram, but maybe it's changed. See, I think that's what it's called, but I don't have it. Yeah, like I said, the Kick app, it was more like a social media app, reminiscent of like Instagram or Twitter. When I when I saw it 10 years ago, um, and I don't know too many people who still use it. I guess younger people still use it. Like they'll use like Snapchat, Kick, Instagram, TikTok. Um, but there's another platform like YouTube as well called Rumble. So some people who want to make spicier content than what's allowed here on YouTube will put it on Rumble. And actually, a lot of people who've been kicked off of YouTube and kicked off of TikTok go off to Rumble. So like Fresh and Fit, they have been demonetized and deplatformed on YouTube and on Twitter. um, and on TikTok. They've gone over to Rumble. Um, just Pearly Things. She took things too far on YouTube, and she's on Rumble. The Mafia, the former Mafia boss Michael Francis, he makes a lot of content on YouTube, but he says his spicier content where he talks about politics he does on Rumble. So that's another platform to think about as well. And Twitch, yeah. See, I wouldn't mess with Twitch because Twitch is like really low value to me. Like it started off just for gamers, like, and there's still like gamers on there, and you have some people who've become really famous on Twitch, like Kai Sanat. But a lot of the Twitch content now is just it's like it's pretty much OnlyFans without the nudity, and a lot of those female Twitch streamers are also on OnlyFans. Like they do like pretty provocative things that they get away with doing on Twitch live streaming, and yeah, I wouldn't even mess with Twitch because one, I'm not a gamer and I'm not a female, so I probably wouldn't have. I if I couldn't see my content thriving on a platform like Twitch, which is basically just for Gen Z folks. Like I said, if you're not a female showing your body and or you're not a famous gamer, probably not going to do too well on that platform. Yeah, Rumble is a new one, Jake's wife. It's like I said, it's sort of like Rumble the is like the social media. It's like the social media equivalent of the island of misfit toys. If you remember that from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Neighborhood, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like all the reject toys got sent to the island of misfit toys. So all the misfits influencers and content creators who got kicked off of TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, they all go to Rumble. So like I said, that's where Fresh and Fit is. That's where Just Pearly Things is, um, and a few other. famous content creators. Um, but she says I don't have Twitch either. Just what I hear. I just downloaded Snapchat because Moon asked me to. Yeah, he keeps asking me to download Snapchat, and I he would probably be the only person I talk to on Snapchat because I've not used it. I've not used Snapchat in like 8 9 years ago. I was just telling I was just telling someone that earlier on the stream that I haven't used Snapchat in like 8 or 9 years. But I mean, I might consider it. I just never had a use for it, and it was it the Snapchat isn't user friendly the way it was set up. I just never liked the platform. But I might if that's the only way I can reach out to him. But actually, I was about to go before you came on, because it's like late at night here. It's about yeah, it's 2 a.m. 2:02 a.m. So I'm about to go. But I appreciate you finally. I finally caught up with you on my stream, so I gotta catch up on. I gotta follow you on your stream next. But today was I had a this was my so-called Ask Me Anything day. So one day a week, instead of having like a focused topic, I'll just say Ask Me Anything format. And usually I'll get a lot of trolls, but sometimes I get good questions too. So I was just talking to one guy earlier before you came on, I think he's a former police officer, and I guess right now he's in the business of exposing corruption within the force. So, I think he has a long road ahead of him with that one. But he and I were like debating the merits of whether what he's doing falls into like First Amendment issues, and I was telling him I'm not sure if it does, but um, in any case, I think I'm about to go. But I appreciate you showing up, and again, I'll definitely return the favor in your live stream soon. And if you want, you can hit me up in my socials. All my links are in my description. I have a so I have a Facebook business page linked to this channel, and I have an Instagram account, a business Instagram account linked to this channel, um, or through email if people want to email me. Um, but I appreciate it, and for everyone else, guys, have a good night. If you're on the other side of the world, have a good day. Thank Jake's wife. Um, have a good night too. All right. You're welcome.